So I've worked with many brands. I've worked with Ford Motor Company, I've worked with IKEA, I've worked with Kodak, CooperVision, AirTran, and one thing I have noticed is that a lot of brands are starting to take more risks. I think that they're realizing that online content is almost a necessity. Some brands like Nike, until recently, they weren't on Twitter, which is like, I can't even imagine that being the case. But I think brands are realizing that you have to do this. And I think that they're taking chances. I think that they realize that the stuff that people find entertaining and engaging is stuff that's authentic, and they're giving more control to content creators like me to do things like Ford Motor Company, for example. I pitched them 4 possible ideas, and they went with one of my ideas, and they let me do whatever I wanted. There was no creative notes other than their mark, do what you want, which is, for somebody like me, that's like winning the lottery, that I can make my living working with a brand like Ford and them just, giving me free license. And I think that they realize that there's an enthusiasm in the work that shows up more in the work when they just hand over free rein. I worked with IKEA. I lived and slept in IKEA for a week. The web series was called Mark Lives in IKEA. It got 1.8 million views, and it got more publicity for IKEA in the United States than the history of the company. And it took me 2 months of talking to IKEA. I just emailed them, and I was very, very persistent, polite but persistent, for them to say yes. And they met with me, and they said there was something about me that they seemed that they could trust me. And for a brand to hand over, for a brand to give over control to a customer like me is almost unheard of. And IKEA won the PR Week of the Year award. They won a lot of prestigious awards based on it. IKEA led to me working with the airline AirTran, where I lived and slept on a commercial airplane for a month. It was really interesting because I had the idea that I would live on an airplane that I wanted to do with Richard Branson's company, Virgin. I thought they would be a great fit. They do creative, innovative ideas. I came up with the treatment, I put it away, and a couple months later, an AirTran contacted me with the same idea. And I said, not only do I have the same idea, but I have all the video ideas and then the outline, let's do this thing. So the TSA was involved. It was very complicated. I got an FBI background check. And for them to coordinate me living on an airplane, it had never been done before, was very, very hard. But I got a Guinness World Record. It got for most flights in a month, and it got AirTran a lot of press. I was hired to promote their GoGo Wi-Fi. So I was tweeting to people. I was on Facebook while I was flying my 135 flights. But I did tell them that for the authenticity for this project, it needs to be about something more, which was my genuine fear of flying. And I feel like that was a good in to really make it authentic. And me being online just helped my sanity. So it was a really organic thing for me to be on Facebook and Twitter throughout the month. For Ford Motor Company, I did a project where I traveled across the US for a month, attempting to get US mayors to present me their key to the city just by asking. So I had 95 mayors that gave me their key to the city. I have a lot of keys in my apartment in Queens. If anyone has any suggestions what I should do with my keys, let me know.